All right, Jessica Dalla here with BossVac. I have Nate Watts that has this wonderful product, Krudz, and he is about to do a demonstration for us. So go ahead, Nate, tell us about your product, please.
Thank you, Jessica. And first off, thank you to BossVac and all the great people here with such expertise across the board. It's good to be with people who care so much about cleaning up spills and cleaning water. It's a real privilege. So our company was just announced last week. We've just done some light introductions. Thank you, Lori from BIC, for making us a part of your family in the future.
Absolutely.
Best part about this is that it's fun to see. We're going to remove oil out of water in seconds. Jessica's going to help me with one or two of the steps. Now we're here. So let me just show you a couple simple examples. Real world stuff. The powder is very light, weighs about 3 pounds a gallon. And it vacuums and moves wonderfully. Let's do a little concrete and steel. Now I could put water in here and we'll get it, but I'm just gonna lay it, come on in close if you like. You'll see how the material flows wonderfully. And I'll make a little berm here to stop this flowing. Berms the oil, jet fuel, gasoline, antifreeze, brake fluid, anything in an engine, but it will not absorb the water. If it's a rainy day, and one thing we're doing here is we're absorbing that on contact, and we're restoring friction. It's not slippery at all. Might need a little bit more. We also are now putting it into socks, and I'm encapsulating that oil. See, it's starting to chunk up. And this resulting material here is dry to the touch, very pleasant. Want to try it, Jess? Come right here. And still a little wet, but why the fire departments like us is that we get the friction back on that steel. We also can remove oil off of ice just as fast. This resulting material floats wonderfully, which we'll show here. This over here, we've stopped the flow. Just use a little bit of material to stop that flow completely. And with a little bit more, whoops. We can keep going with this, but we're gonna get right down to the concrete and remove that stain. Okay? So other things do this. We are hydrophobic, so we do not absorb water. And now for the fun part. You ready, Jess?
Absolutely.
Where'd my oil go? All right, this is awfully fun. So with great companies like BossVac, they might have oil on the bottom of the tank. They might have oil mixed with the water. And let's just say this is the bottom of the BossVac tank. Okay. And it's gone. So this is really fun to watch. So now we're gonna let's just put stuff in here.
All right, so what's, like, do you have it measured out to a certain, or is it just by eye right now?
By eye.
Okay.
But this, you know, there's thousands of types of oil. For crude, what it does, it encapsulates the crude into chunks, so you can roll it, so you can sweep it. If it's jet fuel goes into this instantly.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to do, it's hydrophobic, so it's going to float. And you can see the buoyancy. And if it's sticking to the bottom there, where's my Twizzler? Oh, there it is. Sticks to plastic, which is good because it'll stick to other types of filter products like you have, like you showed. So that's completely floating, and you can use that, you can project that out of a great cannon like this for a couple hours, and it's not going to break down into the water.
Okay.
All right, so you ready with your close-ups?
We're ready, Mr. DeVille.
All right, here we go. Oil's going to float. It's going to combine with the Krudz 502.
There it goes.
And with agitation, it happens in seconds. And now we have a nice material that flows, but it's gonna stick to plastic, and it's gonna stick to just about any type of filter material. A little oil in the bottom floating around there, but I think that's about the right mixture. So remember, a couple seconds ago, we had oil and water, and how much would it take to clean that out, you know, with all kinds of fancy filters. And now for the fun part, Jess.
All right.
Grab your filter there, and I'm gonna hold it over.
Okay.
And we're gonna pour the oil out of the water. I'm not using any type of fancy filter here. My filter's a little not good enough. I didn't get 100% of that oil.
Well, that's what's great about
What micron is that filter? Do you know what micron it is?
Oh, it's just it's nylon hose.
Okay.
I intentionally used a low quality filter. And now any remaining oil, well, the oil in there is still encapsulated.
Right.
And I can tell because it's floating. And we can let that sit there. Or we can pour a little bit more in. If you run this through a really nice filter, you're getting 99% of that oil out of there. And we're encapsulating the rest of it. So we could go through a better type of filter, and we'll get it all of that oil.
Awesome.
So concrete surfaces, steel, ice, water. We've got some great demonstrations online of taking jet fuel out of water in seconds with just a sheet. And we're talking to some great filter companies like the gentleman about taking these filters to the next level. So we're just out of the gate, cleaning your hands now with the oil.
Yep.
And
Right on.
look, I really appreciate everybody being here and this great collaboration we're doing, led by BossVac, Jess and Mark. It's great to work with you, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Nate.
Okay.
And this is when things are going really bad.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
if
So
you,
maybe more of a minor spill, major spill, with
Uh,
a 502, maybe?
so you have a huge spill right here. You go with a 502 white around the edges
For the berm. Yeah.
and for the friction. But if you don't want to spend all that money to get it off, it doesn't work as quickly.
So it needs to sit longer.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
But this floats in a sock like you wouldn't believe what you want, because the oil and the fuel is just on the top.
That's right.
You
You don't
just
want it to even get saturated and start sinking either, so
Right.
it'll stay on the top.
Right. I get this media too. And yeah, so it's a breakthrough in cost. It blows around like crazy. So this is pretty blowy itself, which is why we're going to be making more
So
socks.
how do they know the ratio of what to use for how much oil and
With the
That's why I've
Is
been
that
in the lab.
you're developing that right now?
Yeah.
Ratios and stuff. Okay.
Right.
Good afternoon. Jessica Dalla here with BossVac. I have Nate Watts. Tell me what company you're with.
The Krudz company.
And Hunter.
I'm Hunter Woodruff. I'm with Axle Box Innovations.
All right, so we have some oil and water here. We're gonna take some Krudz. And what is this product that you have here
So
that
this
we're
is a
gonna
product called
collaborate together?
M5. This is a polypropylene blown material, and this material is 300 or 400 nanometers in diameter. So this material can absorb 50 times its weight in oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix Krudz with the water. Krudz is going to absorb all of the oil, and then we're going to pour it through our makeshift filter here, and it is going to absorb anything that's left over and keep the Krudz out of the water. We're going to hopefully get clean, pure water out of the bottom of this.
I'm pretty optimistic we will.
And I'll drink it if that happens.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that. But we could do this also with jet fuel, gasoline, motor oil. This happens to be 2-stroke engine oil. Go ahead and enjoy the process of seeing us encapsulate that oil in the water. Krudz is very buoyant, so it all comes to the top. have a little bit of oil on the sides of the glass, and that'll happen. So we pretty much encapsulated that oil, maybe a little bit more.
All right.
Let's really load it up this time and have some fun.
All right.
Let's really get all that oil. It's very highly dispersed, very fine grain size of the solid. The Krudz 502 is a solid. It doesn't absorb, it adsorbs. So the oil clings around the edges of the powder. All right, so we've encapsulated that, and this is very exciting. First test of its kind. Look at that. And you just used a little bit of that filter,
Just a
didn't
tiny
you?
bit.
You didn't really, I asked you not to plug it in there too good. If you would have put that all the way in, you're gonna get all of that.
And we have just regular pantyhose underneath that, right?
Just regular pantyhose.
Regular pantyhose holding the blown material here. Well, if we pack that all the way through, that water will come out clean.
I want to try something. Let's see. Stick this back up here.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Right. It's like 407.7. Yes, sir. You're grabbing the oil and not the water.
Wow, look at that.
And if you leave it for a while, we'll just do it.
Well, there was also a lot of that oil on that.
But he's taking it to the next level there. Excellent. That's what it's all about. Seeing which material does the best.
That's cool.
That's very cool, man. That's very cool. Look at that. Only the oil. Look at that water. So we're approaching 99% on that one little tiny test. Don't break my beaker. The steel. All right. Thank you for viewing. Thank you, Jess.
Thanks, guys. Keep in touch for our next big announcement.
See you soon.